Welcome to Ramen In College. This is the rambling of a broke ass college student. As always, I'm Jordan. First off, let's just get this out of the way. I'm not in my dorm room or in a studio. I'm at my actual house. I'm back at home. School let out for the semester, so I will be here until the semester starts again. I might be in the studio. I might be wherever, but today I want to talk about a movie that I saw recently that was actually a black exploitation film called Black Belt Jones. Now let's get into this. This movie was created in 1974, directed by Robert Klaus. The movie, off of Wikipedia, it's a mafia that wants to buy out Papa Bird's karate school downtown, which ends in his death. Bird's daughter Sydney refuses to sell it and wants revenge. Bird's student calls Black Belt Jones for help. Now, Black Belt Jones off of Google is Jim Kelly, who is the main character of this black exploitation film, which kind of takes place of like, if you want to think about it as like a sense of what does this movie relate to if you've never seen it, think of the Karate Kid, but in 1974. So it's not like his origin story or anything like that, like the Karate Kids. No, this is him, a super cool dude who's got super cool abs. I'm not gonna lie, that's what basically his focal point of the whole entire thing was his abs. I'm not gonna lie, but it was him basically just going back and forth and just beating the crap out of so many people. Now, what makes this movie kind of interesting is Sydney, which was played by Gloria Hendry, as it said in the Wikipedia article that Sydney refused to sell the karate school. Um, the karate school was owned by Pop Bird, which was Scatman Crothers, who played Bird. Now, Bird died. Okay, I'm not gonna go into the whole thing because I don't want to spoil the whole movie for you, so you can go watch it. But he dies, um, and this is kind of how the story began. So at first, the it kind of started as what seemed to be just an average karate movie of everyone just fighting each other and kicking butt, which then has an actual twist, in my opinion, which I thought was pretty interesting because Papa Bird dies. And because of this, Sydney came into town. Sydney wanted to, they wanted to sell the shop, and Sydney refused. Um, so stuff goes on in the movie where it kind of leads into Sydney and Black Belt to stop the mafia. Now, other things happen, and it just gets kind of interesting. I never thought it would actually be something that interesting, but it was actually pretty good. Rotten Tomato gave this movie 69%, while IMDb rates it 6.2 out of 10. Um, what are my thoughts about this movie? Well, there's a lot of things I could talk about this movie about. So I would give this movie maybe a good 7 out of 10, mainly because of this. My main complaints about this movie that if you are a young person or anything, you would probably not like this movie. Mainly because you can definitely tell it's old. So as I said, it was directed in 1974. Um, so a pretty long time. But the let's start off with the big thing, the action scenes. Now everyone loves a good action scene. I myself love a good action scene, but in this movie in particular, the action is lackluster and bland. Now, when I say lackluster and bland, I don't just mean they were fake fighting. No, this movie was kind of it was missing elements. It was very much dry. You know, you can definitely tell they were not even punching each other. There was no blood. There was there was a little bit of fighting, but not that much. But other than that, the action was just okay. It was very well. It wasn't very well choreographed, and you can tell the some of the actors were actually fighting, while some like actually kind of like play fighting, while some were kind of WWE fighting, aka not fighting at all. Which the whole movie they weren't fighting at all, but they were. It was made to look like they were fighting, which again, not really that great. Um, in some parts of the movie, the sounds you could just tell. Some people's sound was crisp, clear, like Black Belts. I think his stayed consistent through the whole movie, but then you had some people's that were just like, so I'm talking through this microphone. Like you can tell they were talking through the microphone, and then like using their voice, like voice recording it at first, and then using their actual voice to then when they were recording, they used their actual voice, but it was definitely just copied and pasted onto what it looks like. Some of this, some of the way the like the camera, some of the cameras were kind of all over the place. It was again, it was very old, so you can definitely tell that the camera was not that great, which it definitely shows. I got this recommended to me by one of my professors, who actually gave me a whole list. So I'm actually gonna cover a lot more than just Black Belt Jones for Fade to Black. There's gonna be a lot more to cover, but anywho, I'm getting sidetracked. Um, Black Belt Jones was pretty good. It was a pretty. You can definitely tell it aged. But the story was good. It was kind of unique. I didn't like how they. You can definitely tell it was old too, because they used some kind of terms that would be offensive in today's society. So if you're easily offended, I'm sorry, you might not like it, but if you're not and you just want to watch a good movie, I think you should check this movie out. Again, it's a very kind of old movie, but it's not like in black and white or anything. Um, but I really feel like this movie was really good. I wouldn't say the best black exploitation because I haven't seen that many, and I know maybe you haven't either. Um, but if you do have any more suggestions on what I should watch, leave it down in the comments or something, and I will go and check that out. But would I recommend this movie to just anyone watching? I'd say yeah, I would. I would definitely recommend this movie, mainly because again, if you just want to watch a good movie or just a movie in general, I feel like Black Belt Jones would definitely be a good movie to just sit down, watch on your free time, maybe even have it in the background. I was at work when I was watching this actually, and it was actually really good. Again, I told you, just sitting down, doing my work, and then also watching this, it kind of kept me a little engaged. At first, I was like, "No way, I'm watching this old movie. It looks so old. It looks so stupid." But then again, once it started to get interesting, and then you can tell like all the different characters and then what was gonna happen. I felt like I knew, but I didn't. So I think those are just a little few reasons why you should watch this movie if you have time, of course. But if you don't, you got a life. Not my problem. I don't care. But um, I think that's gonna do it for this episode of Fade to Black. I am your host. I guess you can call me Jordan, and thank you. If you want to see more of Ramen in College and more of my podcast, I do Fade to Black, Stranger Talk, and Unchained for right now. If you want to see more of those, I have a shorthand page linked in there. It shows you kind of what I'm. It's basically a marketing page for this. So you can see more about Ramen in College, and you can see also all the ways you can watch it. You can see just anyway. But um, yes, make sure you subscribe if you want to keep checking out more of the channel or just supporting the channel. Or if you're on Spotify, I just spoiled it for myself. But if you're on watching this on listening to it, if you're listening to this on Spotify, please make sure you check out the YouTube channel or vice versa. It's just Ramen in College as well, and you can check out more of that. And you can find my Twitter at Ramen in College as well. If you enjoyed this, why not just hit the like button, share it to your friends, do whatever. You know the YouTube thing. Anywho, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.